Hey guys, welcome back to Coding Stuff, and this is second part of our to-do app in Kotlin with Firebase. So in the first part or previous part, we set up our project. We added Firebase dependencies like Firebase auth real-time DB, and we also added navigation component. So now in this video we'll work on sign up and sign in fragments, and we already designed this fragment flash in the last video. So now I'll open the sign up fragment from here. Let me just close these colors and all. So colors, and we also set up our nav graph, splash, sign in, sign up, and home fragment. So I'll close this, and I'll close this. I'll close the main activity, and I guess in the activity main we added our fragment. Yeah, fragment container you can say. So in the sign up fragment, let's just delete this stuff. We'll delete the companion object as well. So yeah, so now we'll open this layout, fragment sign up. I'll delete this text view. I'll change this frame layout to constraint layout. Okay, and in the first part I have showed you the UI in Figma, so it's kind of similar. So throughout the app we have this kind of design. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it in the sign up fragments, but instead of fragment splash we'll make it sign up fragment. Yeah, that's cool. So now we don't need this to do. I'll just delete it. Let me just minimize the project view. Okay, so we need this image view here. We need this image view not here. We actually need this at the right side. So I'll just constrain it to the right side. I'll remove this left constraint from here, and I'll rotate it. So rotation of 180, and that looks cool to me. And this one will be similar, of course. So now we need to add some edit text. So 3 edit text we'll go with. First will be, of course, user email, then password, and again verify the password kind of. So let's just add one material card view here. So I'll select the width as 0 dp, and I'll add height as a wrap content. Then I'll constrain this to horizontal in parent. We'll constrain its top to top of our image view to, I guess. Yeah, that's cool. We'll also use card radius here, so card corner radius of 8 dp. Then we'll provide some elevation to it, so 8 dp, and we'll use one property which is card using compact padding. We'll make it true, so it adds the elevation, and we'll also give it some margin from the horizontal, let's say 16 dp. We can change it as per our requirements. So for now I'm keeping it 16 dp. Inside that we will have one text input layout. So similarly it is coming from material, so its width will be match parent, and we'll keep height as 50 dp. We'll change the background to white, and box, there is one property which is box stroke width. We don't need any stroke, so I'll make it 0 dp. And again there is one method which is box stroke with focus. I'll make it 0 dp as well. Then hint enable, I'll make it false. Yeah, that's it. Now we'll add one edit text here. So again, text input edit text, which is coming from material design. So I'll select it. I'll give it width and height as a match parent. and background as a white. I'll give it a hint of, let's say, enter your, or we can say type your email, and input type will be text email address. We'll give it some padding from the start of 12 dp and padding top of 15 dp. So this looks cool to me. I'll just add this as a string. So extract resource, and yeah, so we can move it a little up by providing margin from the top in the minus. So let's say 32 dp. Okay, this looks fine to me. So yeah, okay, again we need one text view on this image view. So just below down this, I'll add one text which will be wrap content and wrap content. I'll give it text as sign up, which will be in color as a white. Will be constraint its end, so end to end of parent and top to top of parent. Okay, we'll change its size, so text size to, let's say, 20 sp, or we can make it 28 sp. We'll change the text style, so which will be bold. We'll add some margin from the top of, let's say, 12 dp and margin from the end of 12 dp. Let's see how does it look. So we need to provide some margin. We need to increase this, so let's try with 24 and 24. Okay, so this look, okay, we can just make it 32. Let's try with 32. 32. Okay, now this looks cool to me. We can increase the text size to 32 and it will look great. So yeah, again we'll extract the string resource, so sign up. Cool. So that's the email edit text. Yeah, we can provide some padding from the end as well, so padding end of 12 dp. This will be happy. Then we'll copy this material card view. Let's just give it id first, so I'll give it id as a card1. Okay, and to the text input edit text, I'll give it id as email et. Okay, so now I can just copy this till the material card view. I'll paste it over here. I'll change this id to card2, and this will be constrained to the top to bottom of card1. Yeah, and this will be pass 80, and we'll remove this margin from the top, or we will make it some positive number, so 12 dp, not minus 12, 12 dp. So yeah, or we can just remove it. Let's just see. Okay, so this looks cool to me. So we need to change this hint to, we can click alt enter, and let's just duplicate this one. So instead of type your email, this will be pass, and this will be password, and we'll again add another string, so this will be retype. Let's just change this to retype, and yeah, that's it. So this should be type your pass. Okay, so now we will need one toggle here as well. So this text input layout, we can add one property which is password toggle enable will make it true. Okay, fine. So see, if I remove this to edit text, two properties, you'll see these grayish line before at the bottom of this edit text. So we don't want that, so that's why we use these two properties. Cool. So again, we'll just copy this edit text and material card view. So I use material card view to provide some elevations. I do that with every possible view to add some elevation, nice elevation. So this will be card 3. This will be repass 80 and will constraint its top to bottom of card view 2, and we'll change this hint to retype your pass. Cool, that's it. I guess we need the toggle over here as well. So now we just need one button over here and one text as well. So the button, I guess I have added, yeah. So just after the material card view, I will have an image view which will be wrap content for now. So I'll add the src, which will be, I guess, button. Yep. And yeah, I'll just try to adjust its width and height. First of all, it will be constrained to end of this edit text, so end to card 3 end, yeah, and top to card view 3. Bottom. Now we will just remove this margin which is already added. We'll just play with its size and we'll see which looks better. It's 32 dp, 32. It's too less, I guess. So let's try with 55 dp and 55 dp. Let's add some margin from the top. Let's say 12 dp and margin end of 12 dp. So this is cool, I guess. Yep. Or we can just make it 16. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Now we just need one, or we can, let's just try to add some more margin to like 48 dp to the card 1 or more. Let's say 68. So now I think it's good. Let's just make it 64. Yeah, 64 is cool to me. You can adjust it as you want. So now I just need to add one text view. So I'll add two text views basically. So wrap content, and this will be, the text will be already registered. Cool, and another text view in front of that will be sign in. Cool. So let's just place this text view to over here. We'll constraint its start to this read text card view 3 and constraint its top to this one, and this text view we will constraint its top to the text view top and start to the text view start. Just give them some IDs. So text view 2, it's okay. we need to work on this. So I'll give it ID as, we can name it as auth TV, because we will be using this in both screens, sign up and sign in. So yeah, we'll change, I will just add the string resource for this too. Yeah, cool. So we will change its color. So text color will be text color. Yeah, actually we don't need margin to this text view, we need margin for this text view. So margin top, let's say 16 dp, and we can increase the text size to a bit 16 sp, and this one also. Okay, so you can so that looks cool to me. You can play with this, you can add more margin and all. So I'm not gonna do it now. And now we will design our sign in fragment as well. So it's kind of pretty simple, so it's kind of pretty similar. So I'll just copy this again, I'll go to the split mode, I'll press Ctrl A and Ctrl V. So this should be sign in fragment. So I'll just change this. Yeah, I'll change this text here to sign in. We already have the text. Then we'll not have this retype, so I'll get rid of it. So just delete this card 3, and this will be constrained to card 2. This will be also card 2 and card 2. Yeah, now we need to decrease the margin from the top. So I'll make it kind of 32 dp in positive, not in the negatives. And this time it will be, we just duplicate this, and this will be not registered. So I'll write not registered yet. You can add question marks if you want. And this will be not registered yet. This will be sign up. Cool. Actually we can add some margin from the start of, let's say 12 dp. So it will be in the line of the edit text. Yeah, we'll also add here. So margins start of 12 dp. Fine. So yeah, everything is set up correctly. Okay, so we just try to decrease this. Yeah, and let's try to increase this margin from the top, kind of 8 dp. So yeah, that looks cool. I'll copy this, I'll paste for all the cards. Do this as well. Okay, so the sign up and sign in page is done. Now I'll work on the code part. So I'll start with the sign up. First of all, we'll need few parameters here. So I'll create some late init vars. First will be for auth. So this will come from Firebase auth. Then Firebase late init var, where I'll require the nav controller as well. So nav controller, this should be nav controller. Private late init var, nav controller to navigate through different fragments. So yeah, and then I'll require the binding. So yeah, then we have fragment sign up binding. We'll initialize this binding in on create view over here. So binding, this will be equals to fragment sign up binding dot inflate. We get the inflator here, then the container, and attach to root false. Then instead of returning this inflator.inflate, we will simply return binding dot root. And yeah, now I'll override on view created method. We'll call one init method in which we'll pass this view that we get in this on view created. So I'll create one private fun init which will take parameter view, and we'll initialize our now controller first. This will be equals to navigation dot find now controller, and we need to pass this view, and we'll initialize our auth as a Firebase auth dot get instance. We have one button, so I'll call another method which will be register event, and I'll create it over here. So private fun register events, and in this function I'll add on click listener to our button. So button, okay, we didn't give it ID, let's just give it ID. So we can give it ID as a next button. Similarly, we will give it to the sign in button as well. So next button, cool. So binding dot next button dot set on click listener, and in this we'll collect the strings from our edit text. Sorry, val this will be email. This will be equals to binding dot email et dot text dot toString, and we'll also have val pass. This will be equals to binding dot pass at dot text dot toString val verify pass equals to binding dot repass dot text dot toString. We'll have some checks here. So if email is not empty, we can also trim this. So dot trim, we'll use dot trim function to remove the extra spaces. Dot trim not string, cool. So we'll check if the email is not empty, and also we'll have check for pass is not empty, and verify pass is also not empty. Then we can move ahead, but we'll have another check which will be pass equals to verify pass. So in Kotlin we can directly check that by 2 equals to sign, so we will do it in Kotlin way. Okay, so we got our email and password. Again, you can add many validations, like you can check this email validations as well, but I'll leave it that on you. So if the pass and verify pass is okay, we can just call this method of Firebase auth to create one user. So create user with email and password. I'll pass the email and pass, and then I'll add on complete listener to it. On complete listener, and here you can see in it we get task auth results. So I can have one check if it dot is successful, or I'll have the else condition in which I'll display the toast. So toast dot make toast, need to pass the context here, so I can just pass the context. Sorry, okay, and then I can just display this exception, which will be it dot get exception dot message. Cool. We can have null check here, and then the toast length, of course, short. We can show it now. Cool. So in this, if it is successful, we'll copy this, and this should be message should be registered successfully in the strings. Successfully. Cool. So as soon as the user is registered, it's pretty simple. Okay, I think you understand this. So as soon as user has been registered, we'll send user to home fragments. I'll use nav controller navigate r.id. We don't have any action. You can see here we don't have any action. So we'll create one action here from nav graph. So we just want to go from sign up fragment to home fragment. We'll play around this navigation. Don't worry about that. We'll get it by the end of this tutorial series. So action sign up fragment to home fragment. You can see this. Cool. So as soon as the user is registered, we will navigate him to the sign in home fragment. Cool. Now again we need to add another listener, so which will be on the auth text view. Of course, I'll just add set on click listener to it, and I'll use nav controller dot navigate r.id. We just have one action. So again I'll add one action from sign up to sign in. So when user clicks on this, I want him to go to sign in fragment. So let's just connect this two. Cool. So now you will see two actions. So from sign up fragment to sign in fragment, we need this one. So the sign in fragment code will be similar. Let's just open that fragment. Let's get rid out of this code. Okay, so we can just copy paste a whole lot of code from here. I'll paste it over here. Instead of sign up, this will be sign in. I'll copy this again. So instead of this should be sign in. Cool. Now we can copy all of this till here. Fine. Okay, so these things will be similar. Init function will be similar. We just need to change this registered event. So actually we don't need the verify pass because we don't have it, and we can remove this check, and we can remove this check as well. So yeah, cool. I just need to import this on complete listener, and it will be happy. We need to change this toast. So this will be what I can say, login successfully. And yeah, rest of the things will be simple. So I'll open this splash fragment now, and I'll also delete this stuff from here. I'll delete these things from here. I'll delete these things. Cool. So actually we don't need view binding here because we don't have any widget in the view. So we just need some handler to navigate, to use some delay. So val handler equals to handler, and I'll pass looper.myLooper. I'll use, we can just directly, let me just delete this stuff. Try to create it. Post delayed, we'll call one method which is post delayed, and I'll pass the runnable here. And inside the runnables, you can see I need to pass two parameters inside the post delay. One runnable and one is the milliseconds, the delay. Again you can pass three parameters. You can see here two methods to override. but we'll select the first one. So I'll pass another parameter which will be, let's say, 2000 milliseconds. It means 2 seconds. So we want to display this screen for 2 seconds, and then we want to move to home fragment or sign in fragment. Cool. So what we'll do, we'll have one check. So we need Firebase auth here. I'll create one late init var for auth to check if user is logged in or not. So this will be Firebase auth.get instance. Here we'll have one check if auth.current user dot is equals to null or not. So if the current user is not equal to null, it means user is logged in or signed in. So in this case, okay, we'll also need the nav controller. So I'll create one nav controller. We'll initialize it over here. So navigation, find nav controller, we'll pass the view. Cool. So let's just define some directions for these two situations. Okay, so from the splash, if the user is logged in, means current user is not equals to null, we'll send him to home fragment. Otherwise we'll send him to sign in fragment. Cool. So nav controller dot navigate r.id.action splash fragment to home fragment if the user is signed in, and otherwise nav controller dot navigate r.id.action splash to sign in fragment. Cool. I guess in the sign in fragment I didn't change the actions. Yeah, we need to reverse this as a sign in to sign up. So I'll go to the nav graph. So from sign in I need to move on sign up, and from sign in I can go to the home fragment as well. So let's just change this. So action will be sign in to sign up fragment, and this will be action sign in to home fragment. So let's just try to run the application. So the application has been installed. So yeah, we need to change this action bar. So just go to the values and the themes. Instead of dark action bar, I'll make it no action bar, and in the colors we should have secondary color. Yeah, we do have it. So I'll change this to secondary color. And why it's showing me a warning, I don't know. It's Android Studio who added it and saying it to me to delete it. Cool. Okay, so now we can run the app, but before that we made one mistake, which is create user with email and password on sign in. We just need to call sign in with email and password here. Okay, so that's the thing you need to aware of when you are copying and pasting the code. So let's try to run the app now. Yeah, so the splash screen and type your email and password. So let me just type some password real quick. So I'll use this CodingSTUFF070, and we need to make this toggle as invisible for the first time. So let's just try to write some simple password which will be coding, and I'll try to click on this button. So there is no user record corresponding to this email ID and password. Okay, we need to add some space here as well. So I guess you can do that. Okay, so we can't log in with this mail and password because we don't have it. So I'll click on sign up instead, and I'll create new account of CodingSTUFF. Why it is adding it to all the edit text? Okay, we will fix that. We'll set some password as a coding. We'll set this password as a coding, and I'll click on this button now. We can add one progress bar as well here, so we'll add that in the next video. You can see we registered successfully, so that is working. So that's it for this video. In the next video we'll fix some UI issues, and also we will start to work on the home fragment to add the task or to add the to-dos. So yeah, that's it. Do subscribe and thank you for watching.